Hello, lovelies! Welcome to the Emotion Empowerment Box Big Reveal. Ta-da!
The heart healing kit.
The heart healing kit.
Yes.
You ready for this? Ta-da! Can you see that? It's supposed to pan and zoom and change, but it doesn't really. I just covered it completely.
That's okay. I'm not here.
I am not here. I am not here. Oh, I love it. So this kit has more items in it than any kit we've done.
Yeah.
Did you realize that?
I don't think so. Yeah.
So you get a huge list of everything in it. Has all of these items. So we're going to go through and show you everything in it.
And it almost didn't fit on the paper.
It didn't. I had to move everything around. So if you've been a subscriber and you've gotten lots of kits, you'll be like, oh, she changed something. You probably never would have noticed, actually. But in my mind, I think so. You'll pay attention because they're normally up here. Yes. Okay, so what are we going to start with, Rick?
Oh, man. See, there's so much.
Or we could go in order.
Oh, there you go. We can do that. We can start with the Fuchsite, right?
Fuchsite?
Yeah.
Hold on, we have to dig.
It's like a treasure chest.
It is. A treasure chest.
Yes. So the very first thing is this Fuchsite pendulum. Fuchsite is really an interesting crystal. It is very different from what you would normally expect in a heart healing kit. You know, of course, as we were sitting talking about this, we're like, okay, the usuals, rose quartz, right? What's the other one? Green
Aventurine,
yeah,
which is also in here.
Yeah, well, of course we included all those, but Fuchsite is one of the more less known, really empowering, courage, intuition. It's really, really beautiful. So,
and it's really interesting too, because if you look at the color, it has. Can you move it forward? Oh, I was just going to gesture you move it forward, but I'll just take it. So if you look really closely, it's got like pink and the green.
Mm.
So here we have more than one camera we're doing. Whoa, where am I? Whoa, there it is. Okay. So you can see there's the pink and the green. And up here, for those of you watching, hello, Jennifer! Yay, you're getting your first kit. I love it. Which helps because the heart chakra right here in the middle of your chest, that's actually green. But up here, in between your throat, kind of where my butterfly is, that is your higher heart chakra, and that's a pink energy. Right. So it actually aligns with the green and the pink, and if you wanted to wear it as a necklace, it can balance both of them.
Yes.
Do you use pendulums?
Occasionally. They're not something like I will teach it to somebody as an awesome divination tool, but it's not my go-to. But I might have to because they are awesome.
Yeah. And we'll go over, there's a video you get with the kit where we go through each item and we give you specific details on the item and how to use it. That's kind of like the other big thing with the kits is, yeah, we could give you a box of crystals, but if you don't know what to do with them, then it's like, great, I have these things. Please heal my heartache. And I don't really know what to do. And then they end up being stuck in a box somewhere or put out on display because they're pretty and not actually used.
Yeah.
So I love pendulums because they're really good at when you need direction. But this one we did specifically this way because then you could wear it or keep it on you or keep it in your pocket or use it for divination, which is basically getting yes, no answers from the universe. Just clear information for those of us who tend to be in our head a lot. Uh-huh. So a lot of people who use pendulums I find with the most luck with, they're in their head people.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
I'm too emotionally invested in this and I just can't get an answer. Ding! So, I love that.
I do too.
Okay, so then I get to do this one.
Right. They're so gorgeous.
Oh, look, it's like zing,
yep.
Zing. So this is our selenite. It's a wand that was cut down to an incense burner. So there's a little hole on one end. This is dual intention. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things in the kits are going to be, and even the things from previous kits, you can use in this kit. And in the meditations and the how-tos that you'll be able to see like, oh, if I got the protection kit, I can actually use some of those pieces in my grid for my heart healing kit as well. Because a lot of them do crossover. Yeah. And so this is great because you can use it for cutting negative cords, if I can spit it out, and getting some clarity and protection. But then and to purify, there's so many things.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go on forever.
And then you light the fire and it burns the incense over it.
Yes. Yeah. So do you want to do the incense next? And we'll...
Oh, yeah.
Highlight that. So then you also have the incense to hold it as well.
Yeah.
And you can line up all your crystals on it and cleanse them.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Yep.
Yes.
So we knew that we wanted to do selenite, and we actually had selenite sticks that we had talked about getting in the box first, and then we're like, oh, but we need incense. And then I was like, there's this really cool incense burner that we can do, and just, yeah. So.
And so it's a wand and a burner. So even if, and sometimes with incense, some people say that it's a little rough for them because of the fragrance being so much. So this is nice because it's something that you will use no matter what. Mm-hmm. And if you don't like your incense, you can gift it, because literally, like, this item by itself, how much is it retail? Isn't it like 22?
I don't remember.
I thought it was like around 22 retail. Yeah. And so I'm like, come on now, your kit's $55, $22, you still get this. And you can give away the incense if you don't like it, but you'll love it, because I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm very sensitive when it comes to smell and incense.
Yes. So the incense is patchouli this time. You get a whole box, 20 sticks. Patchouli is one of those ones that kind of sends me off into outer space. Like, it's super crazy, but it's actually very soft and gentle. I don't know why.
It's not the overpowering, give me a migraine kind.
Oh, no, yeah. But, I don't know, the energy of patchouli just in general is one of those, like, people can be wearing patchouli perfume, and I'll be, like, gone just by walking past them. So, it is, just, again, we want to really open these heart centers. You know, a lot of people do heart work, but this is just one more supportive, uplifting, you know, positive vibing incense.
It's so good. Yeah. And we probably should have specified, this is the Heart Healing Kit. And it's not just like healing after a heartache, like a breakup. And we were talking just before we started and about the month building up to this, because each time there's a kit, it's like we did the protection kit and all this weird stuff started coming up and we started needing to protect ourselves, and then the abundance kit, and I was like, gifts were showing up at my door, and I had so much business I couldn't handle it, and I had to hire help, which I'm so excited to have. Yay! And then the creativity kit. And we kind of make these faces because
they work.
It amplifies so much, but then we're also like full plates and then adding to it. But it's nice because the creativity kit like flowed into being more creative with the Heart Healing Kit, and it's something that you keep all the time. And
it really helped organize for me like the things that were priorities. So
yes. And so this Heart Healing Kit isn't just about overcoming a hurt or a breakup or something like that. It's also a broader spectrum. Do you want to share your hurts?
Sure, yeah. I didn't really get much by way of like relationship, you know, sort of connections. But man, I had to deal with a lot of disappointment, I guess, is what it was for me, just in a whole spectrum of areas of my life. So that was kind of my experience with the kit, was just, well, first having the tools, right, to deal with that.
Yeah.
But just that experience of confronting these things that I was kind of afraid to look at, but that I really needed to in order to heal. So,
yes. Yeah. And I'm like, hi, Mir. Because I'm like, yeah, mine was like disappointment would be the word. And it was like, mine was more about like a lot of self-disappointment and disappointment in relationships and that piece. And I even, to prepare for this kit, Aurora, hello! I can't wait for you to get it either. So excited. And then to prepare for this kit, as some of you who follow me already, you probably saw it, I whipped out my stack of journals, and it was a stack of some of the hardest years of my life where I had the most hurt to overcome, whether it was grief, loss and death, having my sister have a stillborn baby and being there for that right after losing my mom, and like I even dove into like abusive relationships, and I was thinking like, this is where we're going with it. And man, it like churned up some stuff. But the thing that I found the most was, as I was diving in, there was old stuff that was more about taking accountability for things that weren't mine and holding on other people's pains and the things that we create as a self-identity and all of that. So I'm really excited because the videos we give each time keep going up and up and up.
There's more and more of them.
The last one we had 7 coaching, meditations, and trainings and ceremonies with the kit. So this time I hope to not have 10. But there are a few videos that you're going to be able to get, and they go over all of those things of like different types of heartache. So it's not just like, oh,
I broke up.
Yeah,
Mhm,
it's
yeah.
not just a breakup kit, but it is also really, really good for that. But it's almost like we kind of dove into this and said, wait a minute, that's too easy. Like,
Mhm.
let's go deeper than that. And
Right.
so these are tools for more than just the surface level healing, but like the deep
Right.
shit. And I said shit, but
Oh.
that's really the best word for it.
Yeah.
So, okay. On a lighter note,
Yeah.
is it my turn
It
to
is,
pick?
yeah.
Okay. So, the cedar smudge stick is next.
I'm finally I got a cedar smudge stick in the box.
We've been planning this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
we knew it was coming.
Cedar is again one of those ones that just really resonates with me. I smudge my house with it instead of sage. The intention behind this is just to, pull in all of the support and positivity that you need, even when you are down and in these like deeper places. The cedar just,
it's a protectant and a cleanser, and it's used in a lot of ceremonies, especially like if you are familiar with like the medicine wheel. It's one of the elements of the medicine wheel, and so you have earth, wind, fire, water, and so it's one of those elements that you just everybody needs.
Yes.
So if you have the protection kit, it's not in the protection kit because we want it to be more of creating that inner protection, and also helping to aid when we protect our hearts and we tend to harden our hearts. It helps to soften that, but safely soften it, and that's what we want.
Cedar's about healing, so you're healing the energy of the home, which is why it's not in the protection kit. Sage is better for that, right? But cedar takes all of that negativity and heals it and helps heal you and heal energy and heal,
rather than amazing. Just pushing it out.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Oh, my turn. Okay. So we did want to have something a little heart-shaped for you. So you get...
here, I'll put my hand behind so you can see.
There you go. So you get a marbled heart stone. This can be used in the center of the grid, I think. Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
Or in your pocket.
Wherever, yeah.
And they're different colors. So this is not the exact color you're going to get. It's just the pretty one that matches everything.
Well, they're all pretty.
They're all pretty. They are. But they were all hand selected. Like, I literally went through and picked each one and said, this goes. And there's a lot that I left, like, but these are pretty. And they're like, nope, these are the ones. So when you get your kit, like, we actually tune in and say, which one of these goes to this specific person, and you get that one. So it's really neat that way.
It's really great because it's palm sized, so it fits nice and comfy. You'll use it in your meditation, too.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, you're going to use it in your ceremonies. Yes. And I love them too because it's substantial. There's also, I didn't even get to share.
You didn't,
So there's also some symbolism with this. Maybe I'll save it for the video. But there's a reason why it's specifically marbled. Mm-hmm. If you look at all those little breaks in it, that's not accident. So anyways, I'm going to save it for the video because it's a really beautiful story and idea. Okay.
It's your turn. You get that one. I love this.
Ready? I love it. Okay, so this, my dearies, is pink tourmaline, and you get it on this nice steel stand so that you can set it up by your bedside or on your crystal grid, or when you create a ceremony, you can have it there with you, which I like because tourmaline usually over time will crumble if you move it too much, and so it's nice because you have the stand to keep it nice and sturdy. Mm-hmm. So this was my, we have to have this in the kit. So his was the cedar, mine was this. So pink tourmaline is very powerful in healing the heart space, but also building that unconditional love, and healing deep losses, deep grief.
Holly really likes tourmaline, black tourmaline, but this is tourmaline that I have actually never seen in person before.
Really?
So, yeah, I know, it's amazing.
I'm like, here, look. It's okay, everybody else can watch while Rick admires it. So I actually have, this one was in our kit because of my own personal experience. So when I went through, probably my biggest heartache ever was when my divorce happened, when my husband left for another woman, and it was really hard to snap out of. Like, all of my woo-woo things, all of my spiritual training could not prepare me. And it's funny because in retrospect, it's like, I should have seen all the signs and I had all the tools there, but I just could not recover. And one of the things I did was I have a big slab of this. It's like 3 times the size, and I would literally lay it on my chest, and I would sleep on my, and I'm not a back sleeper, I'm a stomach sleeper / / roll all over the place and steal all the blankets and kick you out of bed. Like, that's me. And so I would lay on my back and I would sleep the whole night on my back and I would have it there and it would just, it's almost like it would go in, it would just suck out and purify. And then the weight of it would also just make it so I could breathe. And so you can like slide it in your bra if you want. And like it's made, well, I'm not wearing a shirt that shows it. Darn, you're not either. But you can actually slide it in between and you can let it rest like right there on your chest. And that's really powerful too.
It's really funny because when we pulled that out of the box,
I'm like,
it's so nice to have somebody just have that connection and feel that right here, right? And that is exactly where this feels. It feels like somebody's putting their hand on your...
It's that comfort everything's breaking. It's like...
Those weighted blankets you might
I
not
was
need.
Just gonna say, yes. That's honestly what it felt like is that weighted blanket. And they're not that heavy, but when you put them on, the energy of them is heavy because it's going in deep and doing its work. Yeah. So, hello, Miss Amy. Okay, well, we will, after we share this, we can post the link. And so we'll send you the link. I'll private message you so you have it. But yeah, it's just $55 if you're not a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, they're already on their way to you. So they'll be over at Dixie Rock and Fossil for pickup tomorrow. Or if you are not local, it's being shipped. So, yay! Okay.
All right. Oh, good. I get to do the next one.
I'm like, oh.
But I need my phone because I need to read this. So,
oh! Do you want me to show what you read?
No. Just kidding. Yes.
No.
Yes. I will show and then hand to you. Just kidding.
It's okay.
I'm just kidding.
You can show.
Okay. So this is the Saguaro Cactus Flower Essence. This is made by our awesome tea lady, Carrie, from the Your Apothecary. Yeah. She does the amazing teas that you've had in the past kits. And this time we decided to switch it up a bit and have this tincture made for you. This...
got the ingredients on the side too.
Oh yeah. Well, it's distilled water and flower essence from this cactus.
I'm like, it actually is just that. Sorry. Didn't mean to distract you.
Yeah, no, you're
good. You can see it close.
So this has a very interesting energy that we both felt but couldn't identify when we were preparing the kit. And we had the syrup, right? And we thought that was it. And we're like, this syrup needs to go in. And it's like, no, this isn't right. And
but it has to be different than this syrup. Yeah. But I don't understand.
And then we both knew what it was, but didn't. Yeah, it was weird. It was just weird.
So, like, where's the cactus?
Yeah, we want the cactus one.
And I told her, I was like, the cactus thing. She's like, no, what I sent you wasn't the cactus. I'm like, oh, well, we need a cactus. It's supposed to be a cactus. Yeah. I thought there's a cactus one. And she's like, oh, you mean this? And we're like, oh, yes. And this bottle is normally a lot more than what you're getting it for. Mm-hmm. Like, this is probably the most expensive purchase that we've ever put in, I want to say.
You're probably yeah.
Yeah.
And it is.
And so she did do a little bit smaller size for us so that we could get it in, but still it's like, yeah. I mean, well, the selenite one's pretty big too, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway. Like it's like by itself, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So this is where the kit got really interesting for me because it was about the masculine and the divine masculine and how injured a lot of people get by masculine energy. Not divine masculine energy, but all of the iterations of toxic masculinity, right? And so this cactus is very fatherly and helps heal relationships, like even with your father and that patriarchal line. In the protection kit, we had a little bit of that with the emperor, and now we're like throwing this divine masculine at you. So I'm going to read you.
And it's divine masculine as in the masculine, not as in genitalia.
Right, exactly.
Man or woman.
And let me also clarify, we're healing here. Even if you are female, you have this divine masculine access, right? And energy, even in your divine feminine form, I guess you could say. So it doesn't matter what gender you are. We've all, or if you're seeking a relationship with a man, or if you are a man seeking a relationship with a woman, this divine masculine balance is so super important. So things that need to be healed when masculinity is challenged are things like pessimism, and I lost the thing, victimhood, rebelliousness, mistrust, self-pity, the unable to connect to one's own core strength, purpose, or motivation. This also helps you with separation, bitterness, loneliness, father abandonment, feelings the Earth's pain and human suffering, which is really big
I'm
right
like,
now.
whoo!
It just keeps going. Like, and so
I'm actually going to open this because I think we should try it.
Okay.
Because that's probably what people are wondering, like, well, how does it taste?
Oh, yeah. Oh, go for it.
No, you're going to try it too.
I will.
Okay.
It's going to be amazing.
I'm like, I'll have to order another one, Carrie, if you're watching. Jennifer, yes, we are your peeps. You are our peeps.
Yes. So this inwardly supports clear and self-assurance, male tenderness, vulnerability, tolerance, humility, dignity, wisdom, and the heart going from a tender one to a strong and wise one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, the wrapper is really
hard.
secure, but it's good because you wouldn't want it to not be.
Right.
Okay. Da-da-da.
There are
Got
directions on the bottle.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So you shake it. And it says on it, the heart is tender, strong, and wise. Shift your energy into healing action. Okay, now after you mentioned all those things, and like there's...
We need it, yeah.
Okay, you place it under the tongue 5 times a day. Except I'm tasting the whole thing. Oh.
That's good.
I don't have words to describe it. It's like sweet and kind of not smoky, but...
Yeah, there is almost
It's sweet. But not like sugar.
no. It's like...
Make sure I have it closed.
Is there honey in it?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh,
It does.
good.
It might be...
That's
It feels like it's honey, but no, it's not. What? You should spike my Crush's coffee with it.
Yes, and that would be really good in coffee.
Like, would you
It's
like
perfect.
some flower essences?
Yeah.
And so I love it because it's taking the purest part of the plant and utilizing it. You can kind of see it better now that I've opened it. I should have done that before.
There we go.
So, yay. I'm really
Okay.
excited for this one. And I love it because we can, like, we have notes on it because neither of us are experts on this, and that's why we have an expert give us the information. But I love because everything that goes in these kits are divinely given. Like,
Right.
we don't just go, hey, I have all this research. It's like, well, I had this experience. Would this be good in the kit? And they're like, yes. So we add in things that we are guided to, and I'm just amazed that we got so much into this kit this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kept going, we're over budget. Like, we're going to pay people to take these kits in pretty soon here. And
We made it. This is the first one that might have been on budget, actually.
I'm like, I think
Maybe
we're
not.
still there. I had some extra purchases I didn't tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Because like that ended up
right.
being extra. Anyways,
You're-
it's good stuff though. And you're meant to have it all. So it's so good.
You
Okay,
should
so
do
I'm next.
all of them.
You want me to do all?
Yeah.
Okay. So next are the crystals that come in for the crystal gridding portion. So with the crystal grids, you can set the grid as an intention, or I should probably do the grid with it, huh? I'll show you the crystals first. You get the grid last.
Okay.
If you're following me, then you already saw it. But so with these are the crystals that go in, but they're also big enough size you can put them in your pocket. And so this is where all the fun magic happens. So the first one we have is the rose quartz, because you're not going to get a heart healing kit without rose quartz, right? Then the next one we have is prehnite that's in there. And that all of these help with the healing of the heart. And I'll go over the specifics in the trainings. Then the next one we have in here is moss agate. Agate. Again, we're not
Potato.
Yeah, I'm like, we're not experts on everything known to man. We are
Every crystal.
we are really good at just asking for what we should put in it. And so then you also have the Aventurine. I always say Aventurine.
I don't remember now.
I could spell it for you.
Yeah.
I always call it adventure.
Yeah.
But there's no D. It's like Aventurine, I think is how you say it. So also helps with some heart healing and that heart expanding. And then the one that's a little bit different is the desert rose, which is also
Selenite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they grow here. Desert rose helps with self-acceptance and unconditional love. So this is like healing that heavy, I can't forgive myself because I know better and other people don't know better, so I'll forgive them, but not me. This helps with that self-criticism. So that's why it was like, I have to have in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I love them. It's one of my favorites. Okay, there's the crystals.
All right. So the next
Can you have too many crystals in a kit? Because I feel like we have
there's
so
a
many
ton of
crystals.
It's awesome. So the next thing, when you're first going through your trauma that breaks your heart, right? I don't know about you, but I like have very vivid, horrifying dreams, right? So we had to add a little dream catcher.
They are all slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them are hearts, some of them are circles, but they're all hand-picked again.
Yeah.
So the one you get is the one that's meant for you.
Yes. And I'm surprised we haven't had a dream catcher yet because it kept coming up every time.
Mm-hmm.
It was for this box, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, well, and through our dreams is where we process the emotions that we can't figure out while we're awake. And so they go into the dream state. It's like they send them over. I always see like when people get emotions stuck that don't come out in dreams, it looks like there's a chute, like you're at the bank, and you put in your little box and it goes shoom, shoom, and it gets stuck in the air suction thingy, and so it doesn't come out in their dreams.
Yeah.
And because it's not coming out in the dreams, and when they go wake up in their reality, now it's off in this area, and it isn't getting cleared. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this helps to remind yourself that if something does come up through your dreams, to allow yourself to move through it, like acknowledge it, maybe write the dream down. And again, we'll go through all of this in the trainings. So yes, but good stuff. Oh, it's my turn.
It is.
I'm like, ooh.
What's next?
Oh. Where'd it go?
This one?
Yes, I couldn't see it.
It was sideways.
It was sideways. I couldn't see it. I'm like, I don't have my glasses. That's why I'm like, I'm glad you're doing all the reading. So the next one is our inspirational feather. And the reason it's an inspirational feather is because if you look closely, there's a hidden message on it. Oh, can't see on this one.
There you go.
I'm like, if I move it here, too many cameras. So it actually says love on it. And there may be one or two that has a different word because somebody needed it. But yours most likely will say love. And it's cool because it has a little clip on the top, the little lobster claw. So that's great because you can hook it on things. Some of them just have a ring, but you can tie it on a string. This one you can even like hook on a necklace, hook in a ring.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
you and your feathers always stuck in your hair.
I know. I have feathers in my hair without trying. Yeah. Put it in your car, but this is a good. Well, we'll talk more about it in the trainings, but you can also use it while you're smudging as well to help blend that.
Yes.
There's always a feather included.
I know. I didn't expect that, but it is. Everyone has had a feather.
We didn't plan that until it started happening, and then we kind of did.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one is you know we had to do another little tea. This one has hibiscus and then a root called yarrow root. And I really wanted the yarrow root. While we were planning the box, it was just like that word kept coming into my head, and I didn't even really know what it was.
I think it was already on my list too, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
because I had a list of herbs
like
and oils for each of them.
Yep.
And I think you're like that one. I'm like, ooh, you want that one? I have that one. Okay, ding.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's how we do it, is because we can think of a million different ways we can heal the heart. But then when you're like, oh, this root helps, but so do all these other herbs. Well, I have all these herbs. Well, which ones match? And when we find that we both have the same one, that's when we're like, yes. Yeah. Hello, Miss Jessie. Love you, girl.
So the yarrow root, again, deals with kind of that masculine energy and healing that. The hibiscus is very feminine and light and lovely.
Embracing the sweetness.
But what is interesting, we did something with this one that's a little bit different from the other teas because you can decide how you want to use it, right? You can drink it if you feel
and there's a tea bag.
If it needs to go inside your body to work. But this can also be used in the bathtub. You can do a herbal bath soak with it. If you feel like there's stuff that's kind of outside of yourself that you need to work on, then use it in the bath. So.
Or if you're like me and you really want to experience everything, there's he beat me to it. Always.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's good. It's good. There's enough to do it. You know, you could even drink it while it's on the outside, which is probably what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Just because I believe I should have everything. And you can even use your tea bag in the tub if you don't like having a dirty tub, because that used to drive me nuts. I'd put stuff in it, and now I have an outside tub, so I just put all my messy stuff in my outdoor tub. Well, it just drains right down. And so you can actually set the tea bag up underneath the faucet with the herbs in it, and it will go into the water. Yes. So if you are one of those people that would drive you nuts, then it's okay. You can still enjoy it in your tub.
Awesome.
We always get to have exactly what we want, right?
That's right.
Okay. So the next one is something you drink or can use in the tub as well. And this one we got from Angelita at Breeze. She donated these to us because she's like, I just love what you guys are doing and I love the kids. Can I give some salt? And so this is the beautiful pink Himalayan salt, and it's in a mesh bag. So instructions come with it, but you actually drink it. or you can put it in your bath, or you can do
Both.
both. And there's instructions with that and all the medical benefits. I have like a whole page long of medical benefits that come from drinking this beautiful
Concoction.
I was going to say concoction, but I'm like, it really
it's
is.
Just salt.
It's salt. But it's a special kind of salt, and it's easy for the body. It actually helps to detox and purify so much. And a lot of times when we are in that space of stagnancy and our heart's aching, that we take less great care of ourselves. Sometimes we'll eat things that we probably don't normally eat, or we'll put things into our bodies, or we'll do certain things. And so it's nice to have that purification so that healing can start happening.
Yeah. There's a name for this drink, right?
It's Soleil.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Or Sol. I think it's Soleil.
S-O-L-E.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, again, we research and we read things, but...
And then experts provide things, and we're like, yes, that fits.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I'm just excited that we get to know who we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, look how perfect that was.
Oh, good, because I was worried that I
You were
would
gonna
get
get
yours
that?
and you would get
Yeah.
mine. Because we're going in order.
Yeah. So this is the tarot card meditation this time. It is the Three of Swords. And it was really funny. I had major experiences with this card this month. It was already pre-printed, ready to go in the kit, like last month. And then I had another friend of mine say, hey, I'm doing an article series on difficult tarot cards. Would you do the Three of Swords? And I'm like, that's really funny because I've been processing this whole month about it. And yeah, I can easily write,
It's fresh in the top of my mind.
But then I just got back from vacation. I gotta tell the story real quick. And it was the weirdest, funniest universal symbol, right? I ordered a chicken sandwich, and the chicken was cubed, and it had tomato and cubes and all these pieces, and it came to the table, and it had 3 toothpicks right through the bun. And I'm like, that is like perfect, because these 3 swords aren't here to divide the heart. They're there to hold it together while you heal. And so you can enjoy all the chicken sandwich.
Yes. I don't want a chicken salad. I want a sandwich.
So
I hadn't thought of that. Because, that makes perfect sense. Because I hadn't thought of that. I always think of like, oh, it's stabbed 3 times. But it's like, no, we're just going to hold space.
Yep.
Yep.
And that pain causes growth. But that's more in the video. Yep.
Yes. And that's what I love. Like, I think my favorite part is the videos.
Yeah.
Because... like myself, like if I were to go and look at all these things, I can research them and everything, but still I love listening to yours, and so he tells me he likes
sessions, and they're way more expensive than the box. In the box you get like all these sessions with all these cool things.
And we just do it once, so it makes it easy. Katie, we love you. I'm like, hold on, I just have to say hello to Katie. Okay, so this is the final thing. Da-da-da. So this has been the really fun part about the kits, because originally we were just going to have a crystal grid, something really simple. We were going to do like a die cut each time. The first one, it was like, it's supposed to be wood. I just want a piece of wood and die cut. And I searched everywhere. I tried to get quotes and bids, and people wouldn't get back to me with pricing. And I'm like, oh no, the kit's coming. What are we going to do? And I'm like, well, I'm just going to paint a grid. And I'm painting an art piece that was also a grid. And now that's all we're doing.
And it gets better every single time.
This one was challenging. So here's the grid. By the way, I've never painted hands, ever. I've tried and failed, like drawing them, but I've never painted them. I've never successfully drawn any. So, and if you look, it's kind of light on here, but there's a flower of life in there. So I'm like, I actually argued with my guides, and I was really kind of angry. I had to go into my heart space for a minute, because I was like, really? Like, of all times to choose to challenge me, like the heart healing kit, you're challenging me with the 2 hardest things to create, which is sacred geometry. As an artist, it's really hard because it has to be perfect. And then the other part is hands. Like, really? You're going to do both? And how do these even incorporate? How do they even match? Like, I don't even know how I'm doing this. And so the flower of life is inside the pot coming out, and it actually turned out, and I was like, oh, and then I was texting Rick, and I'm like, okay, here's what it looks like, but brutal honesty, if it doesn't look good, tell me now, because I'm so angry at them for challenging me with this that I want to stop. And now I'm really grateful that they were putting up with my bratty self, because
and it's a heart,
pouring out. And the other thing I really loved is when I paint, and when these things come through, I'm channeling. So basically I'm being inspired. And so I'm like laughing, because I'm like, as I'm doing this, like I'm literally vibrating. So now not only am I painting something harder than ever, I'm doing it with shaky hands. And so I was laughing. I'm like, well, it's a good thing to know that when I get older, if I ever struggle with Parkinson's, I can still be an artist. There's the holly hope in that. There's the bright side. So it's been really fun to create. And you'll place your crystals on the grid in certain spots, depending on what type of healing you're doing. So as in the video of doing the grid, I go through and I explain, like, if this is the type of heart healing you're doing, this is what you'll place. If this is what you're doing, here's what you'll place. Because it's not one size fits all. Like, some of us may be healing some type of grief or intense sadness over loss. Others might be disappointment and needing to push ourselves forward or to have that tenacity going forward. And so depending on what type of heart healing, your grid will change just a little bit, but you can also use pieces from past kits too. So.
And yes. This is like the perfect summation of this kit, because like I love the emergence out of a darkness, the light and dark, like it contrasts. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm like, I love it. You'd think I planned it. I didn't. It's like, oh, this is what we're doing now. Oh, that looks really cool. Thanks, guys. So it's kind of one of my favorite things is the intuitive painting. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm loving that it gives me a chance to stretch and grow. And afterwards I was like, oh, thank you. And look, people get to look at it. Yay. And if they don't like it, they can tell me, but nobody ever does. So, which I'm not inviting it in. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself.
I'll take it.
So, at least I have one. That makes me happy. So, thank you guys for letting us share. Anything else we need to share before we do?
That's everything in the kit anyway. So, yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that is our big kit. This is like the longest one ever, and we didn't even go into that much detail, but there's just so much. So if you've subscribed, your kit is already on its way to you, or it'll be at Dixie Rock and Fossil tomorrow for you to pick up. If you have not gotten your kit, you can still buy it. We only have like 25 left, I think, though, right? That's what the inventory said.
So, which we probably need to also, do you want to do another video about that? That things are changing this next month because now we're out of the core kits.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, later.
So when we run out, so the way the program works, so some people are a little bit confused. So you can order the kit before the 30th of the month. And once the 30th of the month hit, it charges your card, you subscribed, and then on the 10th is when we ship them out. And then if after the 1st of the month you order a kit, it's $10 more. And the reason for that is we just discount it to the $44 for our subscribers because it makes it a little bit easier to gauge inventory and how many kits to get. And so we ideally have everybody. Mm-hmm. But we do have back stock of the protection kit, abundance kit, and creativity kit until we run out. But some of the items we haven't been able to purchase again. And so they're not going to be exactly the same once we run out of what we have. So if you're holding out, getting a kit, make sure you let us know to slap your name on it or just go hurry and purchase it. You can use them when it feels appropriate to go through all those videos because sometimes that can be a lot. Because I had somebody say, I want all the kits right now. I'm like, well, it's probably better to do one at a time and not do all of them at the same time and create a clarity and focus because that's why we created them, to get focused and use those emotions to empower ourselves to move forward. So, but
are we going to have now, because the 4 core boxes we always wanted to have in stock, we always wanted people to be able to order, right? But next month it's not a core box anymore.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about.
Subscription based. Yes. Are we going to do the same amount, or will there be just a few over the subscriber amount?
Oh, we'll have to have a conversation. So, I don't know.
So
dun. Well, let us know your thoughts. Yeah. Like, would you? So the next month we can announce that is. Okay. So next month the box is Courage. Ta-da! And we should probably explain how we come up with it. Oh, I was doing that in my head. I just didn't do it. Okay, one more time. Next month the box is Courage. And so, yeah, we should share how we come up with the emotions because people ask me that all the time.
You do. Oh, that's her work.
I was trying to make it weird. Well, you can always say no, but I say this is what it is, and you're like, yay!
Yeah.
So basically what I do is I tune into the loudest negative emotion frequency. So because I'm intuitive healer, but really what I do is I tune into the negative emotions more than anything else is the emotional state. And so when we do these kits, it's to fulfill a need that's going to be there. And we have to do it ahead of time so that we can have it available when people are losing their crap. And basically the highest frequency for this month is the grief. Grief is heavy this month. The month before was some stagnancy and kind of confusion. The one before that was scarcity. The one before that was overwhelm. And so as we tune into these emotions, it's like this is the kit that has everything to move through that emotion. That's why we call them the emotion empowerment kits. But next month, We'll be the one that's not one of the core boxes, because those first 4 are the ones that everybody needs at some point in their life. Where Courage, it's more of people need this month. So the intention is to have everybody ordering their kits so they have it when they need it.
Right.
And they don't have to wait for us to ship them a kit later or take the risk of us not having enough. So, because we may only do subscriptions. We need to talk about that. We shouldn't talk about these things live.
Why? It's fun.
The eyes, she's like, I love it. Your mischievous side, my control freak side is like, hold on, I don't want to promise something and not be able to give it. So please let us know what your thoughts are. If you are ready for a Courage kit, then let us know so we know how many to make. Or if you're a subscriber, it's automatic on the 30th your card will run, and it'll be coming out November 11th. Getting some Courage right before Thanksgiving.
And if you don't feel like you want it, you can always pause and skip boxes.
Yes.
Right. So.
And we list everything in the box before the end of the month.
Usually.
And so, yeah. Well, no, everything is listed.
Yeah.
We just didn't do the video, but everything is listed so you know what's in it before your card gets run. So you can go, I don't want those, and you can skip it. Or you can go, ooh, I can't wait to get them. Or, ooh, my sister needs that, and I'm going to give this kit to her. Like, you can do those things too. So.
And Christmas is coming. So
oh, yes.
Stash up.
Courage for Christmas.
Ooh.
That might be good. Well, and it goes into the new year too.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so we planned out the entire year. So of the loudest emotion that people are experiencing that's negative, so that we know what to give.
Yep.
And sometimes there's extra surprises along the way that are really cool.
Well, there always are. But that's awesome.
That's true.
Yep.
That's the fun part.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else you should share? Heart Healing Kit, $55 if you go get it now. And get your Courage kit for only $44 if you get it before the end of this month.
Yep.
Or subscribe.
Yep.
And then you don't even have to pay for it till the 30th. So
that's true.
Yeah. And these have like over $100 worth of stuff in them.
Oh, yeah.
And then all the free training and lessons. These are really awesome. I'm glad we do these.
I am too. It's fun.
I'm going to be sad when you go away.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, like far.
Far. Okay.
Where I don't have internet and I'm not unreachable.
That's true. That's true. Okay, guys. Oh, Brandy, yay. So excited to get yours. This one is really exciting. I love it.
It's great.
Yeah. And it plays on the next thing. So once your heart heals, it's like, okay, we can heal the heart, we can set intentions, but then it's almost like Courage to rise again.
Yep.
So the next kit is very fiery.
Yes.
In case you didn't already pick up on that.
Yep.
That's why this one's more like, if you look at the colors, they're more the color of the hibiscus. They're like the deep burgundy. Like even our shred is like the dark burgundy because it's like going in deep. But then next month we rise.
Yes.
So it'd be really good.
Phoenix.
I know. I wasn't going to give that away yet.
Oh, no. Is it really? What?
I've actually already painted several phoenixes. So it might not be a phoenix painting though.
Yeah, we'll have to see what you...
Because this is not what I expected to paint. I was going to paint something completely different.
Yeah.
And they changed it. So, which usually happens. Okay, y'all. I love your guts. Thank you for watching. Let us know if you have any questions. Your kits are coming out soon if you've already ordered them. Yes. Happy heart healing.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.